Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be installing and reviewing these awesome doors off mirrors that you can find on Amazon. If you're new here, welcome to the channel and don't forget to subscribe. I just wanted to share with you guys what just happened. I was driving around so I can review these mirrors and a freak storm came out of absolutely nowhere. And here I am, stuck away from home without any doors. And it's pouring rain. Lovely. Anyway, had to share. So these mirrors here are made by Joy Tudis. This name right here. And you can find them on Amazon. I'll go ahead and leave links down in the description below. They are very inexpensive. I don't like using the word cheap unless it's something that is obviously not that great. Now, they did reach out and ask me if they sent me these, would I give them my full and honest review? And I intend to give you guys just that. So I'm gonna keep the intro short. The wind's picking up. You guys can probably barely hear me. So let's go ahead and check out what's all in the box. So this here is everything that comes in the kit. We have our mirrors with our brackets here. Once again, our mirror with our bracket, as well as all required hardware, 4 bolts, washers, lock washers, and 2 Allen wrenches. One of them is for the hardware and the other one is for adjusting the mirror and tightening it down. And then as well, we do have our instructions here, and this is a 2-sided sheet and it gives you instructions on how to install it on a JK or a JKU, or in my case, a Wrangler TJ. Now the installation process on this is extremely simple. And they are doors off mirrors, so I'm going to start by taking off my door. Now, to mount these, we actually have 2 options. Well, 4, but I'll get to the other 2 in just a minute. You can mount it up higher on the windshield hinge, or you can mount it lower right here just in front of the door hinge. Me personally, I like my mirror to sit just a little bit higher, so I'm going to mount mine right here where these 2 bolts are. Now, my Jeep is just a little bit modified. Right here is my light bar bracket, and it mounts using the same bolts. So your bolts are going to be just a little bit different than mine here, if yours is still stock. Right here, these bolts should be the same as the ones right down here. And if you decide to mount them here, you don't have to worry about it. Because I have my light bar mount here, I am not going to be able to use that factory hardware, so I'm just going to be reusing my bolts right here. If you do have the stock Torx in there, you are definitely going to want to use the hardware that they provide, because the factory hardware just will not work with these mirrors. But that's okay, because they do provide that new hardware. So I just wanted to make sure I cleared that up. Let's go ahead and hop on the install. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 bolts right here, the lower 2 bolts on the windshield hinge. Or if you're going to be mounting it lower, you're going to want to remove these 2 bolts right here. Next, we're going to want to determine which side is the driver's and which side is the passenger's. And you'll know by whether or not the flag is upright or upside down. Once you've determined which side goes to which, it's really easy. Just go ahead and line up the bracket holes here with the holes where it's going to mount. And then install the new hardware, or in my case, my bolts here. Now that it's in place, I'm going to go ahead and remove this film right here. This is just a protective film to keep from scratching the mirror here. And I don't know how well it's translating on camera, but it is crystal clear in this mirror, and that is one good looking man in that mirror. Next up is all about adjusting. It has plenty of movement so that you can adjust it however you see fit. And how we're going to go ahead and secure it once we decide where we want it is they do provide an Allen wrench, so you can tighten down this bolt here, as well as this bolt here, once you decide how you want it to sit. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in the driver's seat, get this adjusted where I like it, and then tighten down all of my bolts. And that's perfect right there. Now we just need to repeat that process on the other side. Real quick, do not think that I forgot about the 4 ways that I was talking about earlier. So the first 2 is you can mount it right up here or down here, and then the other 2 is how it actually is mounted. On the driver's side, I mounted it just like this with the bracket facing this direction, and that helps to keep it out of the way of the doors. If you decide to put your doors back on when you park it and go ahead and take them off later, that way they do not interfere with the doors. Or if you decide to remove the factory mirrors and just use these as your full-time mirrors, if the bracket is facing this way, it will not interfere with the doors. If you want the mirror to point further in so that you can see it easier from the driver's seat, you can actually flip this bracket around and then mount it just like that, and it will keep it further forward so you can see it easier from the driver's seat, especially over here on the passenger. Or you can go ahead and mount one way, one the other way, whatever your preference, but I'm going to go ahead and mount mine just the same as I did on the driver's side. Alright, so now it's time for my full and honest opinion on these mirrors. I actually really like them. I think they're a great option when you take your doors off to have some replacement mirrors, as well as I think they will actually work pretty good to replace your door mirrors if you don't like your door mirrors. Mounting it down lower, it doesn't interfere with the doors. Also, mounting it in the way that I mounted it, it puts it a little bit farther forward, which also does not interfere with the doors. I really like how big the viewing area is on the mirror. It also has a slight curve to it to give you that much bigger of an area of viewing. I was extremely surprised at how stable they were going down the road. I was doing about 60. I also had some severe winds headed towards me, and they didn't move in the slightest. I was also extremely surprised at how sturdy they were going down the road. Not only did they not buckle in, but they also didn't rattle a whole lot, which is amazing. Also, another thing I like is this padding here. They have some padding on the mounting surface here. That way, when you mount it to your Jeep, you don't have to worry about scratching up your paint. It keeps it nice and protected so you can keep your Jeep looking nice. And then lastly, one really big thing I like about these is when you're on the trail, every once in a while you slap a tree. It happens. Most doors off mirrors, it's just like a hard stick that comes out. So if you were to hit a tree or a rock or a dirt wall or anything, it would more than likely either break the mirror or break that bracket or break where it mounts to your Jeep. These mirrors here, the way that they're designed, if you were to come up against an obstacle like that and you were to impact it, it folds right in. I don't know if you could tell how hard I just hit it. I hit it, I paused for a minute, I thought maybe I broke something just because of how hard I hit it, but it is all good to go. As you can see, no broken glass either. Anyway, so that's going to be it for this video. I do recommend these if you're looking for some doors off mirrors for your JK or your TJ. Once again, don't forget to check the link in the description below. These get 2 thumbs up from me. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. As always, don't forget to subscribe down there. You can check me out on Instagram at It's Project Venture, as well as the Tickety Talk at It's Project Venture. Thanks for watching.